What if I said that animal species prehistoric still exist? They are just waiting for the day the Earth regenerates to rise again. All of a sudden, it just evaporated, vanished completely. And I'm not just talking about dinosaurs, okay? Our story begins 500 million years ago. The ocean at that time, it's like a confused soup of weird creatures. All kinds of weird things are crawling on the bottom of the sea. That era. No one has yet learned how to be a terrible raider, eaters until their shrimp arrive. You can imagine. If someone takes a shrimp, the scariest part of the body zooms in, become half a meter long, then add the large intestines for peel-off, while paired. This is a strange shrimp. They have two long spikes sticking out of their heads to grab whatever they want to eat. Basically everything. Their mouths grow like a round nightmare. It's made up of a circle of rigid rockers. It looks a bit like a pineapple ring. Some people thought he was a jellyfish at first because no one expected it. There is such an alien. Level things appear in fossils. But here's what really shocked me. This thing could be the first top predators on Earth. In fish. Even before all the creatures that would scare you. These alien monsters, already cruising and hunting in ancient oceans, and their eyes are ridiculously big. From Australia, they are everywhere from China to Canada. They are almost eating up everything that was in the ocean at that time. Even trilobites are no match for them. Trilobites later evolved tougher shells, just to avoid being easily eaten by these monsters. The shrimp move around in a really weird way. The sides of their bodies are covered with wavy shapes. Move forward with the flapping of these flexible hydrofoils. 20 million years. As long as you reach out into the sea, they are the last nightmare you want to encounter. After the extinction of its shrimp, Earth has welcomed an even more outrageous protagonist. Sea scorpion because he looks like a enlarged version of scorpion, and the largest can grow to more than 2.5 meters. Don't compare him to a little scorpion hiding in a rock crevice. The largest ones are taller than most people. Paws as big as knives. Enough to split a person in half. They lived 200 million years, watching life rise and fall from generation to generation. You're always at the top of the food chain. Most sea scorpions live in shallow seas and rivers, wait for the prey to swim by, and then clamp it with his spiked forelimbs. They have perfunctory, can accurately capture underwater movement. Some species have particularly stout forelimbs. It's got hooks, specifically used to catch fish and tear them apart. They're amputees, closely related to crab spiders. But they didn't choose to huddle in the corner. He became the greatest hunter of his time. Before the rise of the sharks, sea scorpions rule the oceans. They can swim very fast. It can also crawl underwater to find hidden prey. What's more troublesome is, some have even adapted to freshwater environments. It's useless to even escape upstream. They're everywhere. But then fish gradually evolved. Shark appears. Claws alone are no longer enough. The sea scorpion finally withdrew from the stage of history. Speaking of which, there's one animal that could have been more successful, and that's fish stew. Evolution is tired of watching decided to go fish. Therefore, this battlefish with its own armor was born. Their armor is not a decoration. The head and neck are covered with thick bone plates. How thick is it? Thick like wearing a motorcycle helmet. Rampage through the water. In this batch of stewed skin fish, the most famous is Dunn's fish. Definitely the star of this species. It's almost 10 meters long. Weight over for tons. It doesn't have teeth. Instead, there are two statues. Scissor-like bony occlusal plate. You can cut through almost anything. About 380 million years ago, Deng's fish dominate the ocean. His way of eating is also unique, not just bite and swallow. It's about crushing prey. leaving only the digestible part. We even found his vomit and fossils. Spit means he hunted too much. Even vomiting became evidence. His thick, bony armor was not only terrifying, more practical equipment, because at that time, blunt-skinned fish also hunt each other. A motorcycle helmet-sized skull is necessary to survive. Some small stewed-skinned fish, living in lakes and rivers, swim against the bottom. With that armored head, scare other underwater creatures enough. 50 million years. Fish in armor reign supreme in the ocean. Small primal creatures from a few centimeters, from large predators that can hunt sharks. Until the Devonian extinction hit, the entire family was wiped out in an instant, but at the same time they became extinct. The trilobite is having a highlight moment. This family has existed for 270 million years, lived much longer than dinosaurs. They have witnessed the rise and fall of countless ecosystems, and they just live. They are perfunctory, can roll into a ball. It's spiked. Even if the environment changes dramatically, you can also get into the mud and wait for the limelight to pass. There are a ridiculous variety of trilobites. They range in size from a coin to half a meter in length. Some have huge eyes, suitable for deep-sea hunting. Some have no eyes, living in a dark cave. Some have weird feet and backstabs, probably just to keep the predators from biting. Scientists have discovered 20,000 species of trilobites. They dominate almost all of the marine environment. When other animals become extinct in batches, they keep evolving and surviving. Even survived multiple mass extinctions. They live longer than any other animal on Earth, but the last 2 plates of chicken extinction, that time, the cataclysm that killed 96% of life in the ocean, finally took the trilobite. The last trilobite died about 250 million years ago, disappeared completely. And at the same time, there is another sea creature. He has also persisted for hundreds of millions of years in a strange way. That's a hunger strike. These are creatures that look like spiral shells, essentially a hardcover. Squid in the shell. And that shell is not just protective, more like a small submarine. It can adjust the gas and moisture inside. Control yourself in the water. Sometimes the shell is as big as a truck tire. Some small ones can be held in the palm of your hand, but their basic configuration is the same. 10,000 feet grab things, one tip can cut things. A shell to save life. They are found in almost all the oceans of the Earth, all continents, all geological ages. Lived for hundreds of millions of years. Paleontologists even use fossils to date rock formations because they're evolving fast. Not widely divided, which one did you find? You can roughly know the rock. What period is the stone from? But here's the incredible part. They actually survived that, the Permian mass extinction that wiped out 96% of life. Not even the triple agent extinction killed them. They watched the dinosaurs rise. Fish evolution. The formation of the entire modern marine ecosystem. The world restarted several times. They all survived. Until 66 million years ago, the famous asteroid hit the Earth. Ended the dinosaurs. Also ended them. That impact changed the chemistry of the ocean. The boulders were wiped out. There were no survivors. And while the oceans are full of spiral shell overlords, it's getting crazy on land. Before the crocodile became king of the swamp, this position used to belong to a category. Evil amphibian, beast creature, and these guys are not ambiguous at all. Some amphibians can grow up to 6 meters in length. The skull is the size of a bathtub, mouth full of anything. The fangs of the hapless near the water's edge. One of the most successful of these is called a ratus. It's 2 meters long, strong skeleton. It's almost made for combat. He spent years squatting and floating in rivers and swamps. Wait for prey to approach the fish. Early reptiles and even other amphibians. as long as it can be put in the mouth. That was dinner. But compared to him, some of the later giant amphibians were even more outrageous, like the medieval plane. The head alone is 1.2 meters long. Yes, just head. And then there's this guy called Planopark, may grow up to 9 meters than most of what we see today. Crocodiles are bigger. And here's what's even more outrageous. In freshwater ecosystems that lasted a long time, 230 million years, for more than 2 billion years, they dominate the river, lakes, and swamps in a string of mass extinctions. Between climate change and the rise of dinosaurs, the ocean is experiencing its own crisis. And on land, a species of animal called the Leon amphibian is still active. They have thick skin. It's like natural armor. Some can even live on land all their lives. This was among the amphibians at the time. It's very advanced. They became the archetype for almost all swamp monsters. But then the real alligator came on even more efficiently, and the evil amphibians disappeared. By the early Jurassic, their ecological niche has been completely replaced by crocodiles. But then, there's an even weirder evolution going on land. Experiment. What we have to say, it's the kind of dinosaur that many people think is a dinosaur. But in fact, animals that predate dinosaurs by 40 million years. His name is Dentosaurus. They lived before the dinosaurs. Creatures of that time. Evolution seems obsessed. Put a big flip on the backs of all animals. One-toothed dragon, June. There are other animals called flat skulls. No one has quite figured out what these bay fans do. But a good guess is that it is used to regulate body temperature. Certainly, maybe it's just a Permian version of fashion. Anyway, this design is really useful. Denture dinosaurs were the top predators of their time. The body length is about 3 meters, mouthful of teeth with different functions, specially used for biting and cutting. It hunts other turned animals, amphibians, and even early reptiles. Early in the second season, Monodon may be the most dangerous animal on land, ruled for almost 20 million years. And here's what's even stranger. These sad animals were once extremely successful in some regions. They account for 70% of the terrestrial vertebrate population ecosystem. Almost all of them are different styles of doubled monsters. Some are ferocious predators. Some are gross-shaped behemoths with big teeth at the source. Their new generation of descendants are called receptors. This is a more evolved species. They have a higher metabolic capacity, stronger bones, more complex tooth structures, in adapting to life on land, far more than those early ones with spots on their backs. Flat skulls? At the same time, there is also a more terrible predator, primitive saber-tooth. Years before the saber-toothed tiger 100 million, they have curved tusks up to 6 inches long, used to hunt large grass animals. The largest species can reach up to 12 feet in length. The skull is 60 centimeters long. Most of the space is taken up by the teeth and mass-eater muscles. They didn't win head-to-head. It's about taking a bite and backing down. The prey died of blood loss and shock. This strategy has been very successful. Let them in the late Permian period, for 8 million years. In 8 million years, they are the top hunters on land. The scope of activities includes what is now South Africa and parts of Asia. In that era, few other creatures can compete with them, but their brilliance. It also stopped at a cataclysm 250 million years ago. That time, it was the worst mass extinction in the history of the Earth. This is what the event science community calls the Permian mass extinction. This disaster is extinct 96% of marine life on Earth and 70% of terrestrial species. Primitive saber-toothed beasts were not spared either. Entire family extinction. No descendants were left. This means that the age of saber-toothed beasts was in the age of dinosaurs. But as they became extinct, other reptiles. But an epoch-making attempt is underway. They invented flight. The ability to fly evolved independently 3 times in vertebrate history. Birds were not the first to succeed. I'm not a bat. It was a pterosaur. The first appearance of pterosaurs, it was about 230 million years ago, and this flight is 185 million years. The time they ruled the sky. Older than most animals. Even more than dinosaurs. Like the 5-foot pterosaur. One exhibition can reach 6 meters. By long, they will catch fish directly from the sea. And the largest pterosaur also reached a span of 12 meters. He was nearly 6 meters tall when he landed. It's like a giraffe. Weight over 80 kilograms, but still able to fly. The diversity of pterosaurs was amazing. Some are compact, catching insects, some of them are huge. Gliding over the ocean for hours without landing. Some have sharp teeth. Specializing in fishing, some have no teeth. Swallowing prey with the whole mouth. Some have hundreds of tiny, real teeth. To filter shrimp from water. Their bones are hollow. It is a bird-like airbag system to help with breathing. The surface of the body is also covered with delicate fluff to keep warm. Flying is an incredibly complex and energy-intensive act. But the pterosaur not only had him, it also dominated the sky 85 million years. About 66 million years ago, the meteorite hit the Earth. Took away all the flying birds and dinosaurs. It also wiped out the pterosaurs. In the same event, flying reptiles that once filled the sky disappeared overnight. The sky is blank. However, there are also other reptiles. Chose a completely different way of ruling. For example, one that looks like a perfect ocean, predator creature, streamlined body flag, huge eyes, full of fangs. These animals date back 250 million years ago. This design has evolved. There's no need for a modern engineer, so that scientists, at first it was thought to be fossils of modern animals. One of them is a sea crow called the ichthyosaur, with eyes the size of dinner plates. Is an own eye, one of the largest relatively large vertebrates. This allows them to be in the deep, hunting in the dark. Is a predator born to hunt in the dark. They have tail shapes that are perfect for swimming at high speeds. Perfect body flow. Swimming faster than most fish. Some ichthyosaurs were tiny, only eat squid. And species like shawny fish, 15 meters long. Close to the size of the fragrance, eating everything you can swallow. They live in water, like modern whales. Do not go ashore to spawn, expanding rapidly in the ocean. It spread across the world's oceans, and persisted for 180 million years. Longer than dinosaurs ruled the land. Pterosaurus was an almost perfect marine predator. Quick death. Highly efficient and adaptable. But about 90 million years ago, during the Baya period, they mysteriously disappeared. Possible and climate change, changes in ocean chemistry, or the emergence of new competitors. Then the disaster that ended the dinosaurs, extinct 25 million years earlier, like plesiosaurs, adopted a completely different survival strategy. One is to make the neck abnormally long, used to sneak up on prey. The other is to give up the neck directly. Big Mac made of brains. Crush prey with one bite. Such as some species of plesiosaurs. More than 70 cervical vertebrae in the neck. It's longer than the entire spine of some animals. Their necks can exceed their body length itself. It is equivalent to dragging a snake in 7 or 8 meters of water out of the water to hunt fish. And another kind of short seeding like Mingguanguang. Goes straight to the extreme. Has a 2-meter-long skull and great bite force. Anything can be crushed. Even his long-necked relatives are no match for him. The meat eater in the family's civil war. No matter what type, it's made of 4 limbs. Sliding through the water. Propel yourself like flying in water. More flexible than fish. Steer faster. whether it's chasing fish or biting giant prey, all with ease. They're in all the oceans around the world. There are even species that have entered freshwater environments. They survived multiple extinction events. New forms are constantly evolving throughout the middle vocal cords. Exists for over 135 million years, until the asteroid impact 66 million years ago. They disappeared with the dinosaurs. Speaking of dinosaurs, so this is what we're going to talk about. Evolved ridiculously funny dinosaurs, such as Fusarium. These are theropods. That is to say, with Tyrannosaurus rex. Velociraptors are close relatives. They keep super scary weapons, such as the front paws like a long sickle. The longest claws can reach up to 1 meter. This is the longest known of all animals. The single claw structure. These claws are curved and sharp. It looked like a hunting tool, but they use it to pull branches and eat leaves. When these fossils were first discovered, scientists thought it was some kind of giant turtle crawling. These dinosaurs were massive. Like Fusarium, body length up to 10 meters. It may weigh as much as an African elephant. They have little brains, slender neck, big belly, and the whole body is covered with feathers. So you can imagine a huge feathered chicken with sickle claws, dangling in the forests of ancient Mongolia. It was outrageous. Fusarium dinosaurs were widely distributed during the White Evil. They can be found from Asia to North America. They're in a world dominated by carnivorous dinosaurs. With a powerful defensive weapon, successfully became a plant messenger. Until that, the extinction event 66 million years ago arrived, including these scythe monsters. Dinosaurs didn't survive in the end. But right after the dinosaurs disappeared, birds began to take over control of the land, and they soon started trying to be predators too. The whole bird did not choose to stay on the ground to eat a small. It became a 3-meter tall killing machine. The mouth will be like an axe and long hair, can split prey in half. And this predation, it managed to last a full 60 million years, such as the 4-footer of the whole bird. His skull is almost a meter long, all mass-eater muscles. The only task is to put other animals into pieces that can be swallowed in one bite. They don't fly, no singing, no nesting. Every day is a high-speed run on land. Rush towards what looks like dinner, then smash it and solve the problem directly. At that time, South America was a paradise for no birds. Large mammalian predators on the ground. The ecosystem is almost entirely dominated by different species of perforated birds have different prey sizes. Little mouse chasing. Big ones can even be fierce horses. They ruled the terrestrial ecosystem for millions of years. Their strategy is very straightforward. Chasing prey with strong legs, then use the party precision attack. No need to fight. Deadly. They run as fast as horses. Enough stamina to catch up with prey for a few kilometers. But 3 million years ago, North-South America land link. Large numbers of predators from the north such as jaguars, big cats and bears enter South America. These mammals have evolved over tens of millions chemical of years. Hunting ability far exceeds birds that are used to a comfortable life. The birds soon fell from the top of the food chain, and at the same time, some mammals, they went in the opposite direction. They got incredibly big. Modern sloths are notoriously slow, but their ancient relative, the great earth sloth, during the Ice Age, one of the most successful mammals. The Earth cable weighs 4 tons. It can reach a height of 6 meters when it stands up. Imagine that. An animal as big as an elephant. The whole body is covered with thick skin. By walking to the tree and pulling the whole tree down and eating it. Their saw claws can not only pick branches, it also defends against predators. Dare to attack his predator. There is a high probability that it will be used by the pair of sharp claws that can cut through bones. The cable extends from South America all the way to Alaska, living in the forest, grasslands, and even caves. Some species dig vast underground tunnels. System widths allow cars to drive in. It's all about their claws digging it out little by little. These behemoths. Free time every week for 2 million years. Too big. Defense is too strong. Even saber-toothed tigers dare not speak easily. After all, attacking a person weighing 3,000 kilos, the guy with nails like daggers, usually it doesn't end well. But by about 15,000 years ago, human arrival, the situation in the Americas is different. Archaeological evidence shows early humans hunted down these cables. Add climate change and the end of the Ice Age. These giant cables eventually went extinct 10,000 years ago. And another animal. They took an extreme defensive line. That's the armored beast. They are 3 meters long, weighs 2 tons, covered with bone armor. It's got a mace tail. You can break a bone with just a flick. Their shells are not only thick and structured, head armor. Legs can be retracted. The tail droop can kill a predator. This combination kept them alive for 35 million years. Almost no predators. Spread all the way from South America to North America, eating grass in peace on the grassland. No one dares to provoke. Their fossils are remarkably well preserved. Many can still clearly see the old-fashioned lines. But by 51,000 years ago, humans are coming. Things change. Early humans learned to hunt. Armored beasts eat meat and shell. Even live in their shells as tents. Archaeological excavations produce clear evidence humans have indeed eaten and inhabited these living tanks. Finally, no amount of armor can match a smart brain.